Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to another podcast episode with your boy. Um, just got back from. Let me get this guy started. This is for you, Miss Boyd, my girlfriend's mom. She missed seeing the chicken. There you go. I put him right here. You can see his head. Is that good? No, maybe not. You know what? What if we put him here? Boom, just like that. He's back. I got everything. We got the plants. We got the cacti. We got the leaning tower of books that are going to fall on everything. We got my Kool-Aid here. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Just doing the damn thing, man. Welcome. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. I'm about to go into my weekend. I'm not quite there. It's only Friday. Bedroom is looking brand new. We took out there's a huge piece of wood that was next to me that we took out, removed. We just reorganized everything. Sometimes the best thing to do when shit's like kind of falling off track a little bit and you feel like everything's kind of going haywire, you just got to take something that, like, it could be your bedroom, it could be a bathroom, it could be anything, and you just want to clean it up. You just want to make it look nicer, reorganize it, and it's going to feel like an entire new space. And a new space, I'm telling you, is going to clear up your mind. It's going to make everything seem so much easier. But Jesus Christ, I hope everyone's doing well out there. Seems like the state is getting ready. I know Maryland is getting ready to. They're starting to open up slowly. By the time you guys are seeing this podcast, I got my haircut. In this podcast, I obviously don't have the haircut, but I'm getting a brand new haircut. So we're going to finally have a good head of hair again. Going to have a nice fade. I don't know. I just feel like shit's starting to turn around a little bit. Now, I will say Ocean City went ahead and they opened up for this past weekend, and that seems crazy. That seems like chaos. I mean, people are pent up, just like trapped in like their house. And then, boom, one of the biggest like party cities in the country, like beach cities in the country, gets opened up for business. It seemed like a bad idea, but then again, it is Ocean City, which is pretty much just chaotic. Anyways, it's just a chaos city. I've been going there a lot before it opened up with my dog and my girlfriend, and we kind of just been hanging out there, doing a whole lot of nothing, just chilling on the beach. Probably won't be going back there anytime soon, just because since it is open now, a lot of people are going to be there. And that's kind of not my vibe. Just too much chaos going on all the time. But I just got off judge me if you want to. I just got off the live Instagram that went up on Thursday at like 3:30 with 6ix9ine. Dude, you know, it's so easy to make judgment calls on people, and it's so easy to to just say things about people because they're successful, especially when you may not be in the place that you want to be. But that kid was only 24 years old, and his music, take it or leave it. Is it good? No. But do I find myself, like, if it's on, I'm always like, I'm bumping to it. Like, I'm chilling to it. Chilling. That's not what I meant to say. I'm like banging my head to it. It's catchy. It's great to work out to. I don't know. I roll down the window. I'm just kidding. I keep the windows rolled up, but I do listen to it every once in a while. And it's catchy music, and it's a brand, you know, like the colored hair and the memes. Everything he does is so calculated, and it's impressive because here this guy, he goes to prison, he rats out everybody, and he gets out of jail. Hopefully by Tuesday when this podcast comes out, he's not dead, because I know, like, if you snitch on people and you're in prison, I know being a snitch, if you're like in the street life, it's probably not a good thing to be. It could be a little dangerous, but you would think that he would have a lot of security. But then again, he could also have no security, but I'm assuming that he has probably the most security you can ask for. Um, but I just got off watching the live. I think I just got to put my phone on airplane mode. And it's crazy. Dude put up like 2 million numbers, 2 million down viewers, 2 million viewers on his live Instagram page, which is just insane. To have 2 million people watching you for 20 minutes is craziness. Like nobody else could do that. Like even if Michael Jackson went live, it still wouldn't happen. He broke YouTube at 3 o'clock when he posted a YouTube video of one of his new songs called Gooba, which they all sound the same. Gooma, Gooba, Hooba, Tuba, Booba. But it's impressive, and you want to hate on the guy. You do, like, you really do want to hate on the guy because he's so just eccentric and he's so out there, but he's so successful at what he does. And it could get him in trouble in the future. But at the same time, he's very successful at such a young age doing things that nobody could even fathom doing. But it is kind of a sign of the times, though. If you color your hair and you curse a lot and you're aggressive and you like do illegal shit to make your money, you can do well, right? That's all you got to do. But yeah, I did end up listening to that. Not too shameful about it. But that is I did spend probably a little bit too much time refreshing my Instagram page to see when he went live. But yeah, the bedroom's awesome. I changed everything up. It looks so much nicer than I anticipated. It's nice though. I have the windows right next to the bed, so there's like natural light coming in. I actually have a drawer now. I almost said door. A drawer right next to my bed, which is where drawers are supposed to be. And I kind of like how like this podcast is set up now. I have like, it is literally a studio right now. Like I could like put a wall out there and everything is just right here, right in the corner for me. The workplace is nice and clean. It's been working out. I'm still on keto. I know I put a lot of stuff out on my Instagram page about keto, and I don't get a lot of hatred for it. Like, I don't get a lot of flack for it, but I have gotten a lot of flack in the past for being a proponent of the ketogenic diet. And say what you want about it, but for me, I know that I have discipline, but my self-control isn't that high, and I have an issue. I would have an issue. I do have an issue. Sometimes it's under control, sometimes it's not under control. But usually the way I diet, the route that I've always taken for so long, is I take my calories and I split up carbs, fat, and protein, and I just track my calories. I start at 2,400 calories, and I lower fat and carbs, and I keep protein steady pretty much the whole way. And that's how I normally diet. The issue with that is I fast on that, doing it that way too. So I track my fats, protein, carbs, and I will also fast, which leads to an issue because I'll fast all day, especially if I'm at school or if I'm like working or something. I'll completely forget to eat. So then I'll look up and it's 4 p.m. and I realize I have all these macros I have to fill. So I would end up like ordering a Papa John's pizza, thin one, and that will fill up like all my carbs. Then I make a bunch of like baked chicken and I throw that on top of the pizza and I pop it in the oven. Then I'll eat all that. But then when you eat a lot of carbs, you have like this weird feeling of being super duper full. Like you're full, like you can't eat anything. It's like a sponge filled up with water. But at the same time, you're also starving. Like you're super, super hungry. And that's how I get when I eat a lot of carbs. And it goes away super quickly. Like it's a sponge is filled up with water, and then 10 minutes later, it's not like a slow release of water. It just holds it, and then someone steps on it, and you're starving again. And that's the feeling I get when I'm on carbohydrates. I'm also very, very tired too when I'm eating a high carb diet. When I say high carbs, I mean anything between like 100 carbs to 500 carbs. So just anything that's above 100 carbs starts making me feel lethargic. Once I cut that out and I'm just doing keto, once I'm just on ketogenic, which is what I've been on for the past 5 days, and before that it was 2 months because I went a weekend when I started eating carbs, which my stomach, and I'm not just eating like rice, like I'm eating pizza, pasta, ice cream, milkshakes. I'm eating crazy stuff. And that's a hard thing for me to do. I have an issue delegating healthy carbohydrates. It's just, I have so much discipline in so many aspects of my life, but that's the one thing I struggle with the most is when it comes to food. I'll just go all out with it. That's a vice of mine I definitely would have to work on. But so I've been on keto for about 5 days, and when my body's on carbs, I get the runs. I just diarrhea all the time. My stomach is killing me. I get like mood swings a lot more. I go up and down of between anger and just sadness. Like it's nothing in between. I feel like I'm more. I have an inclination to become more depressed or to feel more anxious a lot easier when I'm eating carbohydrates. I think a lot of that has to do with like my blood pressure, my sugar intake just bouncing all day, and I'm like chemically unstable. So the stomach, the cramps, the anger, the sadness, and it's because I eat a lot of unhealthy carbs. And I know if I ate like fruits and like some pastas and rice, I would probably feel a lot better. But I have such a over the top personality when it comes to consumption of things. Like this has been the best. I've never saved this much money in my life. It's not even that I'm saving money. Like I filed for unemployment, which I know a lot of people did, which at first I thought that made me look like a loser, but it's something that you have to do, if you're unemployed. That's just what you have to do. So I filed for unemployment, and I got the $1,200 check, and then like a $600 check from the state, then tax returns. But I'm not working right now, and I'm hoping to get back to work hopefully within the next 2 months, but who the hell knows? I feel like gyms are going to be one of the last things to open, especially in Maryland, and even when they do open, it's going to be hard. I hope when it does open, the community really rallies around gyms, because the gyms are going to need you, because it's not going to be an easy ride for gyms, man. It's gonna be a rough few months, because people are gonna be scared. Gyms already have a rap for being dirty, even though they're not dirty places. They're just, I guess they are more dirty than most places, but because people go there and sweat, so it's an understanding that it's gonna be dirty. But they already do struggle with that, with keeping a very nice, clean gym. The gym I work at is super clean, Foundation Fitness, but it is going to be interesting to see when it opens. I hope the community can build a wall around the gym and keep it going, because I love working there, and I know the members that we have love being members there, and I know the employees love it, and I think we all deserve to have a place like that. So I really hope that the community does come around for all, not just Foundation Fitness, but all the gyms. Everything from Gold's Gym to Crunch Fitnesses to Planet Fitness, even to LA Fitness, to the local mom and pop gyms, the CrossFit gyms, the bodybuilding gyms, the powerlifting gyms, whatever it is, the yoga studios. And that's I hope that's something that needs to happen for the entire economy. When it opens back up, I hope it's a floodgates for retail, and I hope people can support each other. It's going to be tough because no one's going to have money, because everyone's struggling so much right now. I think 15 million people, or 15%, is the unemployment rate right now in the United States, and that's crazy numbers. It's crazy numbers, and it's going to take a while for people to build up trust again. And I know some people are saying how we're never going to do fill in the blank, give handshakes, high fives, greet each other. We're never going to have concerts again. We're never going to go to movie theaters again. And, when I hear that, I understand where they're coming from, and I can understand how that's a thing. But you got to understand, when rules are set, they have to be followed. And I think people who go to movie theaters, and I think people who go to live concerts, especially like crazy concerts where there's like a lot of yelling and people are always interacting with each other, and you go to like clubs, you go to restaurants, there should, at least for me, there was, and there still is, there's a collective understanding of this. You're around a lot of people, you could possibly get sick. And what I'm saying is, I think people are gonna not forget, but they're gonna get back into the norm. as quick as possible. And I think I know it's going to be okay, but it's going to be a transition that I think it's going to be a struggle. Um, but I'm fully confident that everything will get back on track. Especially when we now know that this is just a bad cold. And that's what it is. It's nothing more. It's nothing more. And that's just the factual truth. It's a bad cold. And if you're not in shape, it's going to put you at a higher risk of death. And that's with every sickness though. That's with every sickness. Every sickness is bacteria, and the bacteria preys on weak people. Parasites feed on the weak bioorganisms. And if you're a fat slob and you eat like shit all day and you don't work out and you smoke a pack of cigarettes and you drink a 6-pack to a 12-pack every night, yeah, you're going to die. Your likelihood of dying coronavirus is just as high as dying of a heart attack. And I think that's what's missing a lot from this is the takeaway that this should be a wake up call to, I don't know, go running, maybe walk a path, put down the donut and have like a steak and like, I don't know, have an avocado, maybe some rice, and like start taking care of your body, pop a few vitamins every once in a while instead of just popping like fucking, I don't know, Xanax or I don't know, drinking a 12-pack. I hope this is an eye-opening to that. Just you have to be healthy, or the world is going to eat you alive from coronavirus or from anything. But yeah, once everything does start back up, I hope there's a quick bounce back. I hope there's a quick bounce back. But what I've noticed most about this, like I was saying 10 minutes ago before I completely went off track, is that what was I saying? Yeah, I've been saving my money so well. Like this is the best I've ever been saving my money. And it's weird. It's like I almost spend money. So there's a relationship with me and my habits of spending. They're parallel with each other. It's what's that word? Not an inverse relationship. Jesus, as you can tell, I do not have a degree. I'm degreeless because I can't even think of math. It's a helpful relationship. It's a coexisting relationship. Maybe. I don't know. That's what we're going to go with. But the times in my life where I spent the most money was when I was a server. When I was making the most money, I would spend the most money. And when I'm not making money, I spend no money. Like nothing. And I think it's because I'm never out. I'm a lockdown, so I'm never out. So since I'm never out, I'm never making impulsive buys. I mean, the most impulsive buy I've ever made was about 2 to 3 years ago. Probably 3 years ago. This PS4 right here that I'm looking at. So whenever that was, when Black Ops 3 came out, I went out to go buy Black Ops 3. No, I don't think it was to buy Black Ops 3. It was to buy something. I think a video game for my Xbox at the time. I think that's what it was. But Black Ops 3 was also out, and I think I had it for Xbox, but I didn't have a PS4 at the time, and I saw like there was a combo pack for the PS4 and the new Black Ops 3, and I went ahead and I made a $500 impulse purchase. That's like one of the worst purchases. Like, I like it, I use it all the time, but like when it comes to like a scale of impulsiveness, that's highly up there. Like I was not looking to buy a PS4 that day, but I ended up buying a PS4. And that happens when I'm making a decent amount of money. Because I don't know if you know, but if you're a server and you're a good server and you work at a busy restaurant, you do make some good money. Like you can make real money as a server. Like you can pull in $1,000 a week. And if you're a bartender, you're looking at like more than that, like $2,000. Like you can like at a summer bar, like you can make great money doing that. That's one thing that I'm hoping can get back as restaurants. I don't think that's gonna go. People love food, man. People love escaping reality and having someone serve them and getting good food and just being able to relax, talk to people. That's like embedded in our society. That's like embedded in our culture, is that idea of being at a restaurant. That's something that I think people will always love, and that's one thing that I'm sure would never go away. It might be on pause, but it won't go away. I mean, heck, Theo Vaughn on his last podcast said he went to Utah to visit family, and he got waited on at a restaurant. So I guess some restaurants are already opening back up. I'm sure they're opening. I think they're opening in Texas already. I'm sure they're open in Florida. I mean, right when everything was supposed to lock down, Florida was to open. The restaurants were, because I went to Carrabba's for Italian food. Georgia is going to be open. Everything seems like it's opening back up. And here's the thing I think we have to understand is that the numbers are going to go up, right? And the numbers are going to go up for a few reasons. The numbers are going to go up because people are going to get it more. Because once the lockdown's lifted, people are going to be out wandering around again. So people are going to be getting it. But the flu season's over, right? So it could kind of balance out the numbers. But since the flu season's over, you're not going to have people getting the flu plus coronavirus. It's going to be just the coronavirus. So that's going to affect the death numbers. That's going to affect the people who get it also. And it's also getting warmer outside. But there's also more testing. So the numbers are probably going to go up with people who are getting it. But it's gotten to the point nowadays, since the death rate is so low, I don't care about who gets it. It's all about the death rates. That's what means the most to me. And I'm not saying that everyone who died should, like, who cares about them? Like, rest their souls. Like, that sucks, you know? That's full respect for that. Yeah, it's sad. But what I am saying is that the numbers are going to go up, but there's comes a point where you have to just keep pushing. And I think right now we have to just keep pushing. If we want to get back to a healthy economy, so a year from now, we're not in a depressed state and people are killing themselves left and right and people are losing everything left and right. We got to get the ball rolling, man. And we got to roll up our sleeves and kind of just deal with the impact, because there's going to be a slight impact, but that's something that we have to be prepared for. We can't just keep on locking everything down. You got to start lifting things. And I think states are showing. Texas said, fuck you, and we're opening. And they're opening, and their numbers are going up. I think they had like one of the most, that week they opened up was like the highest week of getting cases that they've had ever, besides like the first week. But that's what's going to happen. Just like people get more colds if people are out in the public. But we'll see. It's going to be okay. Things are going to be back to normal. The one thing that's awesome that came from this is I got to post podcasts every Tuesday and Thursday. On top of that, a lot of people started podcasting. If you didn't start a podcast during this coronavirus lockdown, don't start a podcast. I'm just kidding. Start a podcast. But I would say, I don't know the numbers, but I would say 100,000 new podcasts probably started in the last 3 months, maybe even more, just because people are at home and they have free time. And you got Amazon, you can buy yourself whatever, a camera, a microphone, software, lights, and boom, you got a podcast. That's one great thing. It's really taught me, it's changed my perspective on what I want in life. Ever since this thing has happened, I have made a decision. I still haven't announced it to my parents yet or anybody. I told my friend Charles and Taylor, Jennifer. I haven't told anybody else, but I have come to a life decision that's going to alter my life. But it's something that I think that I know it's a path I need to take. It's a path that is obvious I should take. It's a path that I will be very good at and I will overachieve and I will do really well at. That's given me a sense of comfort. You know, it has. It's given me a sense of comfort. And it's going to be, I have such an identity issue. I have an issue with knowing who I am. You know, I get so compulsive and obsessive with so many different things. And I move in like different phases of a personality. There's like it's like a sliding scale for me. So it's the one thing that I struggle a lot with. And I think what I'm about to do in the next year and a half is going to be a real identity, something I can put a flag in and I'm really like, this is who I am. And I'm proud of this. And I like this person that I am. I'm going to announce that when I don't know, whatever, tens of episodes from now, 100 episodes from now. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to tell everybody else outside of my life, outside of the podcast first, though. And face it, a lot of people that listen to the podcast are part of my life. But everyone, I hope everyone's staying safe out there. We're almost there. Just a few more days. Just a few more days of this prison sentence. We'll be back at it. We'll be back running around like crazy apes that we are, just doing crazy shit. We're gonna be giving handshakes. But it's gonna be crazy if you're gonna be giving handshakes for the next month, you're gonna be an outcast, man. Keep on wearing masks, Keep on wearing masks until we're told not to. That's just my perspective. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't harm you, if you wear a mask, right? It's not a big deal. Put a fucking mask on. It helps, right? It helps. But I was watching, who the fuck was it? Oh, Elon Musk. Elon Musk right here. Starting companies like Eating Glass and Staring into the Abyss. If you feel like you are up for that, then start a company. Boom. Elon Musk. He was on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, man, again. And this time, Tesla didn't get a hit. I don't think they took a hit. I can look that up real quick. I don't think they took a hit. They easily could have, though. Look this up. If he threw around some stats that make you go like, what the fuck? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so since the podcast went up, Wednesday. The podcast I think went up Wednesday. Right? No, Thursday, the 7th of May. The stock was 780, I think. It closed at like 780. It's up $39 as of the 8th, and it's probably it closed 5% up. The stock went up 7% after he was on the show. And it doesn't say why it went up. Tesla's not received green light to resume production. The future of car sales. Elon Musk says, he did say that. He said Elon Musk says coronavirus is a trial run for future pandemic. But yeah, nothing seemed like it affected the Tesla stock negatively. Everything went up, which is good to see. Battery patent. Yeah, I don't think he got in trouble. I don't think he got in trouble for anything. A few things he did. If you guys haven't listened to it, I highly recommend going to listen to it. I always push listening to Elon. It's a shame that he gets so much hate because he does so much good for the world. He's trying to make us multi-planetary, which a lot of people think that's stupid. But then again, wouldn't it be cool shit to be a human that also lives on Mars? Wouldn't it be cool to be like a chimp that lives on Mars too? That's pretty tight, dude. But yeah, I highly recommend listening to it. It didn't affect the stock market of Tesla, which I was very impressed by. But he covered a lot of things. He talked about why he named his kid, I think like XIAEX12. He talked about that, which was interesting. He's such a unique, eccentric, just intelligent creature. Like he just functions on a different wavelength. It's like he's installed a computer in his brain. Like he removed his brain and he put in a fucking motherboard into his brain. It's a great podcast, though. What else did he talk about? Oh, he did kind of go after Warren Buffett a little bit. He took a shot at Warren Buffett. So Elon's he's giving away a bunch of his stuff, right? He's giving away his houses. The way he talks about buying houses is like the way I talk about buying gumballs at a gumball machine. He's worth $40 billion. There's this idea that you can always get richer, but after $100 million, what? After $1 billion, dude, there's a cardinal outside my room. Sorry, ADD is kicking in hard. It's so beautiful. They're all red with the pointy head with the orange beak, and they're black around their beak. But yeah, after $1 billion, what are you doing anymore? So he's giving away all his money. He's giving away all his possessions. And Joe asked him why is he doing that? And it leads to him talking about the philosophy of the way people make their money. And he makes his money obviously in investments, but a lot of it is by making things. He makes cars, he makes Teslas, he makes spaceships, he makes solar panels, he makes huge machines to dig tunnels on the ground to put cars on the ground so they don't have to deal with traffic above ground. He makes things, right? And then he buys stock into them, and then they go public, and then he makes $1 billion. So he talks about that. And then he talks about other ways to make money. The way that the United States makes money now is it used to be all manufacturing. You make product, you have a relationship with the product, you sell the product, people buy a product, you get your hands on the product, you get your hands dirty. It's that machine way of the American history, industrial age, the get down and dirty Pittsburgh steel kind of thing. Uh, having a specialty, plumbing, stuff like that. Making things. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm just rambling. But he talks about the other way to make money: investing, financing, buying stocks and things, moving around money into different bank accounts, getting different interest rates, and just all this manipulation of money without actually making a product. And he takes a shot at Warren Buffett, saying that's what he does, and frankly, that's not what I like. I don't think he said that's wrong, but he did take a shot at it. Warren Buffett, he's like, I don't like that. That's not cool. That's not the way I do it. Which was, it's respectful. It's a respectful thing to say. And he made a point, because once you stop making things, you kind of lose a culture of a country. You kind of lose the soul of something once you stop producing things. It's like one of the reasons why when you hear like a Jimi Hendrix song, you can hear him playing the guitar, and you can hear like the finger sliding up and down the guitar. You can feel the soul in it, and you hear just like incredible music. The sound of a saxophone. It always sounds just better than when you hear someone make like electronical music. And I don't know what it is, but there's like a richness and a wholeness and a realness about certain sounds. And I think that's the same thing when he was talking about money, and producing things, getting your hands dirty, having a product to sell is what the country has been missing for a while. And, he has a point that has gone away. There's a lot less of that. Everything is now just wiring transfer money, Venmoing money, doing things like that, investing into new companies, trading, stock market, bonds, whatever, stuff like that to make money. So he did kind of take a shot at Warren Buffett. He explained the house situation, which is just crazy. He said people were jumping in his backyard, which, yeah, of course people are doing that, but it makes you wonder, like, how is that even possible? How can someone even get over the wall of Elon Musk's house? You'd think it would be security guards at every single point, but I guess if enough people try it, there's going to be a mistake eventually. Apparently Eminem had the same issue. I don't want to get a mustache on camera. But apparently in Marshall Mathers, Eminem had to take someone down who broke into his kitchen window, and his security guard was sleeping. And he had I guess he put him in a chokehold or held him down until the security guard came up and got the guy. Every time you hear about this story, it's like when Taylor Swift had that dude jump into his house, or that stalker who jumped in her bedroom. I don't think she was home. I think she was on tour, but in New York City, it just makes you go how do these people? I guess if you're so obsessed with somebody, you're going to find out where they live. It's scary, and it's a downfall of becoming famous. So what Elon did is he just bought all the houses around him, for protection purposes. He just bought every single house because he didn't want people inviting people on the property to take pictures of him as he's peeing in his bush in his backyard. Not saying he did that. It's not slander. I was just making that up. That's not a fact. I just said that. Don't come after me, YouTube. But yeah, it was a good podcast though, and he talks a lot about the coronavirus, and I think he said a number. I don't know if he said the number, but I forget where I heard the number. I think I heard from Brendan Schaub saying that the death rate or the average age of people dying from coronavirus is higher than the average death rate age outside of the coronavirus, which is insane. The average death rate age for coronavirus has to be 70, right? Look it up. I should have brought my laptop up. Average age for coronavirus death. It's not just going to give me a number, is it? Come on, Google. Show me some good stuff, man. Total deaths, 47,000. Percent of expected deaths, 90%. The fuck, man. What is it? Maybe it's from World Meter. They have all the best stuff. Holy shit, dude. Look, these are some of the numbers. I didn't know they were this high. Wait, this was by April 14th. They're saying men are dying. 62% of them are men. And underlying conditions health-wise is 3,087 of them. This is by April 14th, so I guess all these are a lot higher now. But it's obviously going to be men because men in general are a lot unhealthier than women. And they just don't care. They'll get coronavirus to keep on smoking a pack of cigarettes. That's the best is when you see someone walking down the street and they take their mask down to like smoke another cigarette. That's hilarious. It's hilarious because it's just the irony behind it is, like, what are you doing? Yeah, males, 61.8% compared to 38.2%. But look, this is by April 14th, which I'm just going to show the percentage. I'm not going to show the number. So I'm assuming the percentage will still probably be around the same. 0 to 17 is 0.04%. April 14th, 3 deaths. 3 of them had underlying health conditions. So there's your facts that if you have something else going on, coronavirus is going to be the thing that pushes you off the ledge. 4.5% for 18 to 44. That's low. 45 to 64, 23.1%. Once again, that is a dangerous age. That's heart attack age is 50 when people lose their wives. They get old, they get fired, they retire, they buy a Corvette. The richest, poorest car. Corvettes don't like them. They're like the midlife crisis car. Like they're like the yellow midlife crisis. They're like the 19-year-old blonde chick for 65-year-old men. But instead of a car, instead of a human, they get like a yellow Ferrari that just makes way too much noise. It just doesn't go fast enough, and they never will push it fast enough because they still don't want to get pulled over because they spent all their money getting a Corvette, a yellow Corvette. 25%, 65 to 74, and 47.7% are 75 and older. So 50% of people who are dying from it are over the age of 75. I thought that was a crazy number. I also saw another stat that Elon was saying that there was a prison, I think in New York City, where 98% of the people had it. 98% of people in prison had it. That's like everybody has it, and no one was dying. People are asymptomatic. But it was a good podcast. I think it's something that everyone should listen to. Just my personal opinion. Good conversation. He talks a lot about Neuralink, which is it's like a 2mm thing you put into your brain. I sound so stupid. You put it into your skull or your brain, and it fixes all issues with your brain. Gets rid of Alzheimer's. It brings back memory. It brings back your eyesight, brings back your hearing. And he says this could be out within the next 2 years or next 5 to 10 years, closer to 10 years. But clinical trials within the next 2 years. Just so many great things, and he just goes in depth about them. And it was a beautiful podcast. And I know this podcast wasn't nearly as beautiful, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. One more little dance for you guys. That's for you, Miss Boyd. Hopefully you enjoyed the little chicken or rooster. It's a chicken because it's from Moana, which is a great movie with The Rock. But that's all I got to say today for you guys listening to the podcast. Hopefully I will be back in the public working, back at school. The semester's almost over. Just got finals. Don't know when the finals are. Teachers are tripping balls on that. They don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing, but that's okay. That's okay. We're all just doing the things the best way we know how. 6ix9ine is back. Instagram's about to be lit. Instagram's about to be exciting again because that's what he does. If anything, he just brings the excitement to the social media world. Calls out people. He yells at people. He makes fun of people. It's what he does. He's back. Elon is back. Tesla's back. Everything's back. I'm going to take that shelf over there. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm trying to make a bookshelf. I need to do something because this is getting wild and out of control. Bedroom's looking fresh. The podcast setup is looking fresh. My cacti need water. I got the chicken back. I had my drink. If you guys liked this podcast, please go ahead and leave it a rating on Apple, Spotify, anything else that you guys listen to it on. I don't know. iHeartRadio, Pandora maybe. I don't think it's on Pandora. But if you guys could just leave it a written rating. I think we're at 60 ratings, which is incredible. We're closing into 100, kind of. Only 60% of the way there. But they're all 5-star ratings. You guys are beautiful. Thank you so much for that. It helps tremendously with the podcast. And if you guys are on YouTube, just go ahead and subscribe to it. Like the videos. I may or may not continue with the clips. I think I might, but only once a week. There's just too many clips going up, and I don't know. It makes them special, and I don't think I want people to be looking forward to them. I just want them to pop up at random moments. But thank you guys so much for listening. I'll catch you guys at episode 87 of the Michael Live Show. Peace out. See you.